Ladies and gentlemen, welcome at this tutorial. Alright, this time no trolling, I promise. Maybe, but so many people have asked me to do this tutorial. They have almost begged me to do it. So I don't really like making tutorials because I don't want to see the whole YouTube, everybody just doing the same effects. So I will try to do this more like in general. So this is not only for the real life anime eyes, but it will also help you to do, let's say, any masking related special effect. So this is more like an introduction of some basic skills and stuff you can do in Blender. So this is Blender. This is the basic like screen that you get when you start Blender. What we wanna do is to switch into the note editor, which is here. This is the note editor screen. In order to actually see anything, it's like you need to switch here, use notes, and this is what's going to happen. Here is this note. You can use the wheel and zoom. This is like render layers. This is what goes, it's like input from the 3D scene, which we won't use. So let's hit delete. And this is the output that will get rendered. I need to make things clear. Maybe some of you know the Adobe After Effects. There is this layer-based composition. There are multiple layers, like videos on top of each other, like stacked, and then you simply put them above each other, and then you can, I don't know, mask them, and it's like more like in reality, like putting some sheets of paper on top of each other. Blender has this different approach. It's called like node-based composition. So basically it's like a pipeline. So here, this is the end of the pipeline. This is what's gonna render. Now what we want to do is, here you can, I won't use too much shortcuts, so if you want you can find them anywhere. I want to show it really so everybody will remember. Sometimes too much shortcuts makes it a bit like confusing. So here we need the input, and we need to include the like default or the image or video that we want to use in order, or as a background, as a basic video. So image. This can be either static image or just a video. So let's open. Here we'll choose some kind of video. I have prepared this one. It's me shooting my eyes. So when we do this, now we have connected the video and the output. So now we can render the video. The video is not running now because there's 0 frames. What we want to do, you can calculate it by, you can take how long the video is in seconds, multiply it by the frame rate, and then you have the number of frames. Well, it might differ a bit because the last frame, it doesn't have to be the like full frame. There could be, for example, when you have 30 frames per second, you can, in the last second, I wanted to say, in the last second you might have just, for example, 10 frames. So Blender is clever. You can use this match movie length, and it will calculate it for you. Offset. You can set the offset. It's like moving the video on the timeline. So we don't want to render the video right from the beginning. We want just the scene with the eye. So let's move it, for example, to it's a number of frames. So you can see here the preview, and to make it more like you want to see the result at least a bit. So you can add another node here, viewer. It's the same as this composite one, but it's more for your preview. So you can connect it, and now hit this backdrop. This means that the video will actually appear on the background. You can move it, but here you can move the nodes like by the wheel or by clicking the mouse wheel. And if you want to move the video behind, you can use this one. Yeah, and if you hit fit, it will just fit on the screen. Let's see, we can, if you move the offset, you see that it's reacting, and here is the eye. Let's say like this. Yeah. Now we can render. If you hit this is what there is okay, this will happen to you if you don't do this at first. Here you have settings of your output video, so it's actually right, because we have the full HD here, but this is like 50%. We want 100%. It's I don't know, you can use it for if you don't want to recalculate the half resolutions, or maybe just for preview because it's a bit faster. So now when we hit the render, we should see, yeah, this is the what we have there, just simply the video. Of course, here is the resolution. As I said, here is frame rate. It should be 25 for our video. And what you want to, there is a lot of lot of options. Sorry, and there are some are related to the 3D scene. What we need is this, and here you have the output. We can leave the you can set some directory here, and here is the format of the video of the result. So we want to, for example, H264, and encoding is quite important. If you don't know what this is, then check some tutorials. Usually you need simply to set the codec for your video, and then the bitrate, which depends on the resolution and frame rate. For example, on YouTube there's a table of recommended bitrates. I know you can hit 50,000, for example. You can play with this, you know. And there's also audio codec. We won't use it here. So that's pretty much it. Now get back to the note editor. So when you want to put, like in Adobe After Effects, when you want to put two layers on top of each other, you do it just simply that you put two layers on top of each other. Here we have this node composition. So what you want to do is to add color mix. This node is really useful. It has, you know, some overpowered skills. It's like Naruto. So here we go. What happened? This here is the original video, like the one what is well on the base level, and this one is what's on top of that. So now we have nothing there. It's just a white color. Okay. And this is a factor. You can choose the blending mode here. So like add. Oh well, nothing happens. So for example, I don't know, dodge. No, nope. Overlay. Yeah, it does some effects. It's like Adobe After Effects. You can really choose. You can experiment with. And here is the factor, which means that you can set how much is the video. Over the video on the top, how much transparent or visible it is. So like this, you see that it's here is the original video, here is like half, and here is the everything. So now put the same video there. You know, you consider the difference. But let's say we'll try like color balance like this. Okay, so yeah, this is basically the compositing here in Blender. We can leave this to the end. We don't need now the composite because we would need to edit it the whole time. So it doesn't matter how is it placed on the screen. So you can do it however we want. what's important is are the connections and between them and the order of the connections. So yeah, but the order of the placement doesn't really matter. So let's say we'll make it green like this. Okay, now we have two videos. This is the original, which is under, this is above. So this factor, it's not only like the visibility, no, well, it is the visibility, but not only this visibility of the whole image. What is the important thing in this tutorial is how to use the masking, and this is where this connection will be used. So let's add input mask. By the way, there's a lot of nodes here, really a lot. I won't cover them. There's something like Blender reference site or some tutorials. You can really play a lot with those nodes and stuff like that, so it's up to you. I'll just show you some general basics just to give you this idea how to use it. So mask. Let's connect the mask here. Nothing happens, well, because the mask is empty. We don't have any mask. We're gonna make one. We need to switch into a different mode, and it's the image editor. The default one is here, the render result. But if we want to make it like moving, we can use the original video. But it's like from the beginning. It's if you want to move it, you can here when I pressed N or here this plus button, you can do the same, like match movie length and offset and stuff. This is I look terrible here. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the viewer node. Sorry, that's the input output that we have here. Okay, it's the viewer, right? So if you want to make this is just a view. It's very useful. You can look at it, maybe. So we want something different. We want to use mask mode. We don't have any mask here, so we'll make new. And here we go. Here the magic starts. So when you hold Control and click somewhere, you can also hold the left button and when you just click, you will make a mask point. Now we don't want just simple point. Now let's click and hold, and you can use this to make this handle, so the mask will be more. Let's say you can somehow shape it, maybe to make a circle or something. So let's make just I don't know how many points with that. When you want to connect the last two points, let's hit Alt and C. I will add 1 point here, and now we're gonna I'm sorry, I will just make it really quick. We don't want to lose some time here. So I will just make this almost circle. Well, in our country, people, when you make a bad circle, like some, I don't know, when kids are drawing, it's people always say it's not a circle, it's a potato. I don't know why. So maybe of the shape. So this is, let's say this is our mask we want to use. I intentionally didn't make it to the to cover it, the whole eye or the whole circle here. So when you hold Shift and click at, for example, at the point, you can pull this another like mask element, which is called the feather, and that's what makes the mask like the edges won't be sharp. It will be more smooth, like fade it out, like blurred a bit. You can make the same effect by applying a blur node on the mask itself. Here you can make more mask layers. You can play with them, like subtract them, and I won't cover that. You also set the mask opacity. It's you can also make more masks here, but that's enough for now. So let's go back to the node editor, and now just, you know, hold your tears because the magic is coming. Now let's select the mask. Okay, nothing happened. Sorry, we need to click because not sometimes the Blender might not refresh the screen, so just click on the same. And here we go. This is your first eye effect. As you can see, the feather is not really good, so you can do some tweaks to make it better. There's still visible some part of the brown beautiful eye of mine, so let's adjust it a bit. It takes a lot of adjustment to make it look nice sometimes, so I think it's okay for now. So it's really simple. That's it. You can now play with the colors, and this is my favorite red eye. And this is the end of the tutorial. Okay, no, it's not. I'll show you just more advanced things and something you can build on. So that's nice. But what happens if we go here? Well, nothing happens. No, I mean the feather is good, so you can't see. Here we go. When you close the eye, the mask stays. The same might happen if you move your eye way too much. The mask might not be really like fitting the eye. You can see here. I will zoom in a bit. So you can see here that the eye is like uncovering the brown color. Here it's more or less covered. And you can see that it's like the mask is static while the video is moving. There are multiple options how to avoid this. One of them is to correct it manually. It's called rotoscoping, which is the worst thing at making visual effects. Really, seriously, everybody dealing with visual effects know this term, and everybody knows that this rotoscoping is one of the most boring activities ever. It's like if filmmakers go to hell, then they would rotoscope in hell. They would rotoscope all their videos again and again. That's the worst. That's the worst torturing that can ever be. Anyway, I'll show you how to do it. So you can hit I, and here will appear a keyframe. When you go, for example, I'll just show you how to animate the mask, because you can, as I said, we can go here to 10th frame. Now the image has moved, so we can move the mask according to the image. Oh, that's too much. I'll just show you, and now hit I, and here you can see it's not very visible. Maybe I will. You can see there is like this. This is a keyframe. This yellow line. So I will make it more visible when I do this. Hit I, or you can use this button to make it automatically. It will it will make a keyframe after every edit, and you can see that it interpolates the mask, so it's like moving. It's like animating the mask, but we won't probably use that. So let's go back. You can do it like this. Sometimes I will show you now another technique, which is also very useful, which is called tracking. I will show you just a simple case of tracking. There is a lot of options. You can use multiple tracking points for rotation, scaling, and some 3D tracking, but I will show you just 1 point simple tracking. So for that we need to go to the movie clip editor. There is a trap because here is nothing, so we need to open. I don't know why they just separated it, so we need to open again the footage. We need to set the we need to set the where it is, footage settings. Yeah, here. So here we don't need to set the length, but we need to again set the offset. So I don't know how it was. It should be the same as here. Okay, yeah. So because you want to have it synchronized. When you want to track something. It means that it will somehow follow some element. The tracking point you choose, or the tracking marker, will follow the place you choose at the video. So on the video. So for example, we need some significant like point or some significant area that is different from the rest of the video, so you can like follow it. It's like, imagine that you are watching the video and you are following, for example, this line, but it should be something. For example, the iris here is changing a bit according to the light that it accepts, so you should add it to something that is like not very moving or somehow animating, but it should. I'll show you. For example, let's say we'll choose. For example, this reflection is not very good because it might not really react as the iris here or as the circle. This is not very good also because, as I said, the iris is changing, so this might move a bit. Let's say we'll choose this point here. Okay, here, if you can see, it's not very good, but you can also edit the marker. It should be something significant. You will see if it's a wrong point that you have chosen, you will recognize that you will see, because it won't really work. And now you want this marker to follow this exact point you have chosen. You can hit this, it will automatically try to track the whole footage, or you can do it by frames. And you see it's moving with the point, and this is a like the trajectory that it makes. Sometimes the tracker can get disabled, like it might become inactive. If that happens, you need to manually just put the marker at the same point. It sometimes happens. It's the fault of the tracking algorithm, or it's just the, sometimes it might fail because of the video might somehow rapidly change or something. Or you might have just chosen the wrong tracking point. So let's, I don't know, do it just like this to 30. Now we have this tracking point. Go back to the note editor, and what do we want to do? We want to move the mask according to the tracking point, or the tracking position. Sorry. So let's distort and choose translate. Now you can use it to translate the mask. Yeah, we are moving the mask. So like this, the mask will move. Now we want to move it according to the track position. Here it is. I'll just place it somehow, X, Y, Y. You can do it either way. This is the footage. You need to choose the camera because it's connected to the 3D scene, and track. Well, this is not what we wanted, but we can do. You make sure that when you're masking, you need to make sure that it's 100%, and we can do it to relative frame. Because now it could be a relative start, but this makes when we, for example, make the mask at the frame 40, then we would type 40 here. Now we've made it on the frame 0, so we will leave it like this. It's like this will make the mask move according to this frame. Like this is the basic frame from which will the next position derive. So now when you check it, you see it's not very visible because but just trust me that the mask, I can do this, you will maybe see it better, that the mask is more or less moving with the eye. When the rotoscoping is, for example, good because the tracking is not always perfect. When there might be some distortions, some bad movements. If that happens, you would like to, for example, manually correct it. Then you can animate the mask here, or you can add another translation node and like edit it by animating the positions. Okay, so I'll just show you one more thing. For example, let's say we'll make it a bit brighter. Oh, that's too much. It's sometimes, you know, fun adjusting this. Let's stay at maybe this a bit. Those are like mid. Yeah, this. Now let's add something inside the eye, and it will be more or less everything. So I'm sorry, I had some, you know, flu. Oh, it was probably not a flu. Well, anyway, color mix. Now this is normal. Let's say we can, for example, add another image, but we will try to use a mask because we're professionals. Now it's like, you know, mask. You can animate it and so on. So let's create another mask. And now, I don't know, I'll just create this. Now, don't take this seriously, okay? This is just a... yeah, it's supposed to be a Sharingan symbol, but... okay, I'm not really good at this. It always takes me a lot of time to... well, I'm doing it in a different... oh, no, anyway. Let's just copy this. This is terrible, I know, but it's just for demonstration. Okay, it's don't take this seriously. No, I cannot think. So this is. Let's place it somewhere else, like this. Because sometimes you might have an image that is somewhere totally like on a different place. It's not in the eye. So now let's use the mask as a factor. This happens because we don't have anything here. So let's make it just black. Now we want to take this, put it here, and maybe scale it a bit. So let's edit the mask again. Transform, scale, scale 1.2. Now let's move it. Oh, that's too much. Just like this. 1.4. Yeah. You can also rotate it, but we won't need that now. When you want to rotate it, make sure that the image is actually in the center, or the symbol is in the center of your image. I know. Yeah. Well, we will deal with this. You know this. You see this. We can eliminate that. This is more advanced, but you can use. No, I hope I won't mess that up. We can use a mix again, and we can crop this new mask by this old one, or the one that covers the eye. We can do it, I guess, like no, sorry, it should be the transformed one, and we can use the multiply. No, but we can really use it like to actually make the cropping. Or we can. Sorry, I messed that up. We have this transformed one, yeah, and we should add it here. Now it should be, yeah, here you go. Because this is like basic math. It's like what is mask actually? When you take this mask, I will just show you, like demonstrate, and put it to the viewer. This is what mask is. It's a black screen with some white or gray parts. The white, or the when it's black, it means like the mask is not like affecting anything. When the pixel is black, the pixel stays as it is. When it's white, then the mask actually works or is effective. So when it's gray, it's like it affects the opacity, the alpha channel. So what we did is that we multiplied the white from here by the white from here. So 0 multiplied by 1 is 0. So only the only what is actually already here got multiplied by this and stays here, if you know what I mean. So because here outside is 0 actually, it's black, so it's like 0 point, the white is black. When we have this symbol, I forgot the feather. Never mind, we can use this. We can use the blur. Let's use the fast on the mask. No, that's maybe too much. Well, let's add 7 now. So, and we can also to make sure the symbol doesn't leave the eye, we can use the same trick as before. I hope it's alright like this. Yeah. And now let's add the tracking position. Yeah, there's a lot of lines when you do this, but never mind. So it should more or less work. Yeah, you can see that the symbol is moving along with the eye. Well, pretty good. One last thing I would like to show you is just how to animate the attributes here. If you hover over the attribute like X, you can hit I. Let's go here. You can change it. Hit I, and it's like moving. It's the same as animating the mask. I hope you can see that. But it's just a demonstration how to make this. Let's clear the keyframes. So that's pretty much all. Now if you try to render, there's the mask. We don't need that. Nothing happens. Why is that? Because you don't have this composite node connected. This is, I almost got a heart attack because of this. I was rendering some videos and then I opened the result. There was nothing. Or there was this original video that I connected to the composite node at the beginning. I thought I would kill myself with the katana that is right above here on the shelf. Rendering. Oh well, anyway, just don't forget doing this. Now you can hit the render and it should show you the result. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's just a demonstration. So this is pretty much it. One more thing I would like to mention, it's just a honorable mention here, is the video editor. This pretty straightforward. I don't need to talk about this. It's just a simple video editor built in the Blender. You can add here sound, music, or rendered videos. You can use them here. It's just with the support of multiple layers, pretty much as you will. So this is just a video editor. Don't forget, here you have the properties and you can set the same things as for the output video as we did before. So basically here in the node editor, I messed it up. So no, I didn't want this. When this happens to you, then you're screwed. Yeah, you can when it happened, you can simply pull this and somehow connect it together. So if you go to the compositing, if you go to I usually do this on default. So when you export the video here, you can then use the video editor to just put it together, you know, cut it and add some sounds and stuff like that. So this is just a normal video editor, it's nothing special. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was somehow well, let's say helpful too. I might show you actually some, this is from my last video of the anime eyes, maybe last, I don't know. So I'll just show how it might look like. So like Bishamon, let's open the menu. And here I actually, sorry, it's 4K, so it might took some time. Just render the preview. It might look like this. It's not very complex, but this is what's interesting. I used multiple layers to create this shaped eye. I use displacement to on this axis, you know, X, Y axis. It's like displacement upwards, downwards, and to the, I think it's to the left, right, or otherwise I don't know. No, left, right. Anyway, and I used masks for that. In like this. Let's view. This is the mask actually that does the displacement. When I do this, the iris should transform. You need to just do, this is more advanced, just you should check the list of the nodes that is on the Blender reference site. Sorry, it should refresh, but yeah, here we go. So you can do some special tricks like this one. It's just, you know, to show you. And there's not much. Before the color correction, I sometimes do the saturation. It might, you know, if you decrease that, it will be like more black and white, and you can do better color adjustments. So that's pretty much it. Watching and enjoy the Blender. I really like this editor because you can use it for so many things, like not only 3D and animations, and you can also do such effects like in After Effects, and plus it's for free. Blender, you can get it for free legally. So thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I want to see your results. You can also put them in the description. I will check them out if YouTube doesn't mark it as spam. So have a nice day.